Hello, it's John Binnie, and I'd like to take you on a bit of a tour as I walk down Princes Street in Edinburgh in Scotland. And this is a church, which is just incredible. We're just coming up at the Haymarket end of Princes Street, and I thought I would. It's funny, I always call it Princess Street, but it's Princes Street. And it's a little bit quieter here before I turn onto the main road, so I thought I'd share this with you. And I don't know if I'm going to be an amazing tour guide, but I can guarantee that just like is happening right now, is that Patch will stop a lot. Come on, Patch. Which is a lot of fun because it really helps you get places by stopping every minute. But we'll forgive him. Come on, Patch. Come on, buddy. Yeah, we walked over to Haymarket. It's about a 30-minute walk from the train station this morning, and Patch stopped every minute or so. So it took a lot longer, but he loves it, and so that's important, right? Let me just show you some of the architecture here. It's just beautiful. I think this is Georgian here in this area, and I love the way that the flats or apartments have these basement, and then I'm sure my brother briefly stayed in one of these before, a really beautiful area. And here's some sirens. I think it's an ambulance. It is. There's two ambulances heading along. So we're almost there. Yeah, I'll be able to show you the views of the castle, Princes Street Gardens. We'll see all the delights that I keep pressing the wrong button. All the delights that Edinburgh has. It's a really beautiful city, and it's also an interesting time for me. It's 3 months since I left my corporate job, and I used to work here, and it's also in that 3 months I don't think I've actually got the train in like I have today, and especially walked down the streets as well, so that's really cool. And what I really love about Edinburgh, well, there's so many things, right? In the Fast and the Furious 9, I think it is, which was filmed here in the very centre, there was this quote that they said, which was, they called it like Harry Potter land, which I really love. And that much is very true. It's a very magical place, lots of architecture, but also its history is quite incredible. And what I know of it, I'll be sharing with you. So yeah, we're on a little bit of a walk up towards the centre here. So yeah, 3 months since I was last walking along here, and it's a nice sunny day, which is really good. I did walk past my old office to see if anyone was outside smoking or enjoying a breath of fresh air. That I used to work with, but they weren't, so I didn't see them. In this area, so we're just down the Haymarket area just now, and if you can see just on the other side of the road there, the whole street curves around. And what's really cool is that they often curve around these gardens, and my father lives just next to one of these gardens, and often, I don't think for this one appears very open, but others are often shaped like this in a kind of D or oval shape. And what's really cool is that they, if you live there, you get like a key, and they're like private access to them, so you can get in and walk your dog and stuff, and that they have a little committee to look after it. So they're really beautiful. I didn't realise we were quite so far from, or certainly the way I headed from Princes Street, so we'll do a couple of minutes of padding on the way, but you'll definitely get a feeling for the vibe of the place. And there's this beautiful monument coming up on our left. I'll have to see that. It looks really cool. So, yeah, what else has been going on? Loads of things have been going on at this time. Yeah, this is Coates Crescent's Garden. So Patch did this thing where he just goes straight under my feet. Yeah, what have I been up to? So many things. I'm running an event in Haddington on September the 22nd, and that event is to do psychic readings, energy healings, past, present and future lives, chakra scanning and helping people. So that's really exciting. That's just on the 22nd. Oh, here's one of our trams. I think I'd be on a tram. The tram system is relatively new in Edinburgh, and it was a huge project because they had to dig up almost every road in the centre, and a lot of businesses had to kind of struggle on by and just do their best. But it's really transformed the transport. They already had an incredible bus system, so it's quite controversial. But it was also really cool because it's like really, it's really fast to get around, and that much is just really, really beautiful. Anyway, have you ever heard of a government project that didn't overrun or didn't cost more money? If they always went so well, they'd be in business, right? Wow, this architecture is just so stunning. It's funny, they often say when you go to a new place, look up, don't look at the eye level, look up at the buildings above. Let me show you some of these. They're just stunning. Quite a lot of these are offices, and I suspect they charge a lot in rent. I thought that was a Starbucks, but it's called Black Sheep. And then I love the mixtures. There's clearly a lot of wealth in Edinburgh. Edinburgh's history goes back somewhat thousands of years. There's people been settling here in and around the Castle Rock for quite some time, and you'll see when we get there. But some of the old town was built with these very beautiful modern architecture on top of the homes or the structures of the poor. So it was really fascinating, and it created this underworld. You can Google these stories, but there are these, I won't name them, right? But there are these people that would go around, taking people for their bodies for medical experiments, or there's grave robbing and smuggling and just all the things that happen in the kind of underworld happen here. Yay, we're just coming up on Princess Street. Almost 10 minutes in. It's not very long to walk, but yeah, it's really beautiful. And right at the very end of the street, it's a wee doggy. Right at the very end of the street is this really beautiful structures. There's that is the Balmoral Hotel and the Waverley Gate where I used to work. So we'll just cross here without getting run over. There is no such thing as jaywalking in Scotland, so you can basically just go where you want. And there's the castle. So just behind that church, I don't think it's a cathedral. You can tell my history is amazing, right? My local knowledge. I know what the castle is. And there you go, the first Princess Street sign up above. I don't think my camera with my microphone has video stabilization, so you can't. You're just subject to my hand stabilization. So yeah, we're just going to cross over here. There's quite a few like old banks here that would be converted either into offices or pubs or restaurants, and they're really beautiful and really stunning to go in. And it's like they must have spent a huge amount of money back in the day, I guess the like 17 and 1800s. And there's also buildings that go back much further. So this is the Caledonian Hotel, I think it is. This is green, so we're going to head across. And just this church here and the graveyard behind it, I'll not go in it, but to tell you that I went on something called a ghost bus tour. And that was really cool because it was like this tour around the city in this really beautiful old bus that had like, you know, a skeleton, you know, pretending to drive it and stuff, and really creepy like hosts. They were so much fun, and they took us on a ghost walk. You get on and off the bus. You don't go very far, but you circled around the city, and that was just a really beautiful experience. We did that with the kids. And we're clear now, so we can go. So this is St. John's Scottish Episcopal Church. It's so funny how I don't know the names of these places. Over on the other side we have McDonald's, Tesco Express. You know, many of the chains turn up here. There's actually a lot less shops than there used to be. I think the street's struggling more than it's ever done. But we're just after the festival. So in Edinburgh there's this international festival, and it has a fringe festival as well. They're kind of merged together, and they're just so cool. I think the whole city, which is about 500,000 people, doubles in that time, and it runs July, August, I think, is those 2 months. And at the end, up on the castle, they have something called the Tattoo, which is like a military parade and kind of events, and that's just really, really stunning. I've been to it once, and it was incredible. Yeah, down here is to Parish Church of St. Cuthbert, so that's really cool. And down here is Princess Street Gardens. I would take you down there, and I might give you a little bit of a tour down there, but you'll miss what's happening up on the street. And then over on the left, yeah, it's funny, a lot of these buildings have changed. A lot of the shops have changed in their purpose in the last few months. I think since the pandemic, so much of the world has changed, including here. And I'll give this next place a little bit of a preamble. I don't know if I'll be able to time it perfectly, but just something like 20 years ago, just over 20 years ago, maybe it was 2002, I was in a band called Fabian, and the peak of our success at that time, unless we do a reunion one day, was doing one of the festival gigs. And I remember doing like a little press pack and recording a little LP, which we did in a professional music studio. And it was a lot of fun, because when we did that, we then submitted it and asked for, you're just getting glimpses of the castle now, that'll open up shortly as we pass by. But yeah, we managed to get a gig at what is called a Ross Bandstand, and it's in the festival they converted the Ross Theatre, which is like a kind of open theatre, and they'd open it up so that you could have these bands playing, and they also had these really big, these great big like TV screens and music system. So that was super cool. So yeah, anyway, the short story is that we played a gig there, and I remember my wife Kirsten was there. She didn't quite decide, but there's Starbucks, you get them everywhere. And there's a castle, there's part of the castle there. It will open up a bit more as we go along. So yeah, well, I did play a gig there, and I remember my wife didn't pay to enter, so she stood on the outside. But it was so loud you could hear it from here up on the street. Come on, Pitch. And wow, it's just stunning. I try and focus on that as we walk past. And the gig itself was really fun. There wasn't like a huge number of people in the audience. There were a few people paid to come in and see us. And it was during the day, it was like during the afternoon. I remember one of the funniest things was when I took my guitar pedal, which is this, back in the day, guitar pedals that were digital, they had this like little kind of red LED screen. And it was really funny because when I went outside, I couldn't see it, like none of its settings. And I just had to guess from memory, pressing the different buttons. It's like this kind of, what do you call it, like a kind of composition pedal where it had like all these 70 different effects or whatever. And so for different songs I would like flip between, we're a rock band, and flip between clean and distorted guitar and stuff. And I'm sure a couple of times instead of being distorted it like switched into this kind of I don't know, like plinky plonky harmonized music instead of like effects, instead of instead of what I was hoping for, which was some amazing angry distortion. And maybe this is perfectly timed, or maybe I'm padding by just a few seconds. But yeah, as we get up to just past this tree here, you'll see the Ross Bandstand where we played. And what you're about to see is the place during the festival. It's about another two under your pitch. It's about another double the size, and the whole area is filled with seats. So you're probably looking at this thinking, well, John told us a big story and there's very little to it, but there it is. And it's right below the castle. So they would show you, in the video feeds, you'd see shots of the castle and then shots of the theatre down there. And this is Princess Street Gardens. Come on, Petch. And we're coming up in the middle of September, so it's already like a really really busy, which is great to see. They have an American candy shop. I did not know that. Do they think that maybe the American tourists would come here for the American candy? And I'm not even really sure. I've not eaten a lot of American candy, so I'm not sure about it. We're getting close now to being able to do like a tour of the castle. Yeah, let's stop here and take a look. So this is Castle Rock. I don't know if you can see it. My phone's kind of gone dark. Maybe that's a bit better. Yeah, there's been settlements up here for going back at least a couple of thousand years. I think more, like going back to like Bronze Age and Stone Age. There's evidence settling here. All this down here used to be like the castle moat, but it was more like it was quite natural. It's like a kind of swamp area. And down, when we follow that down, we'll get to the Waverley Station, which is kind of built in a swamp. I know they have to drain it constantly. And then up here, they built a castle. I'm not sure how old the castle. Some of it's really old. Like some of it goes back to like 16 or 1500s. I'm not sure if any of the buildings go back 1,000 years, but definitely hundreds. And then just where they're up here, where they're doing that crane, that's them dismantling the tattoo like event space. This is that whole thing is like a seated area. Okay, Patch, let's go. It's funny because we walked along this way earlier this morning, and I know that Patch really enjoyed the walk, so he stopped and sniffed, as I mentioned, but he's doing it a lot less. I think he's probably a bit more tired now, which is good. It means that we can walk. And I must admit, since coming back, so 3 months ago, well, it's closer to 4 months. It was actually 3 months that I left my corporate job, and 4 months since that was contractual, and 4 months since I was last in the building. So yeah, 4 months. And this is in memory of the Royal Scots grave from 1899 to 1902 in the Boer War. I'm reading that sign, as you can tell. Somewhere up there is the Camera Obscura. Or you can, if you can see it, it looks like a little lighthouse sticking up just to the right of that church spire. And what's so cool is that the Camera Obscura is this old technology where they use like projection of light and mirrors. So they would use it's a bit like a submarine periscope to get the light into a dark room, and then they like have a lens to project that light onto the this like big white dish. And what's cool is you can see they can turn it around like a camera and show you this projection of the whole city. And obviously it only works during the day, but it requires no electricity, and you'd have to see it. They do funny things like put paper down and kind of lift up objects, because when you put a bit of paper on the screen and you lift it up, it's like the object's being lifted because it changes size and shape depending on what you put in there, which is really fun. But yeah, I didn't realise how covered it is over there. Just down there is another graveyard, because we have so many graveyards in Scotland. And there's a wee house. Must be like the keeper's house. And this is a museum we're coming up on? Or is it gallery? No, gallery. I mean, maybe it has museum stuff in it. Yeah, it's stunning architecture. I have a lot of memories. You know, I've lived in the Edinburgh area since I was a young kid. I have a lot of memories of coming up here. And it's really funny because, you know, when you see in these old buildings, if anything, they look better kept and you know, they're looking in better shape than they were before. And that's maybe not the same for me. So yeah, I will take you along now. We're coming up, we're probably past halfway to get to the Waverley station. And it'd be cool, I could take you past my old work and then go down and kind of go down on this beautiful bridge. I'll flip you around now. It's stunning here. Here we go. I had to stop for a wee. Yeah, look at this place. The Royal Scottish Academy. There's some artists on exhibition just now. Come on, Petch. Well, should we walk up through these? That'd be really cool. It looks like I can just take my dog up there. See what happens. And it's quieter. Patch won't get stood on. Yeah, it's just stunning. Look at these big pillars. Can you imagine how much that would have cost to build back in the day? But I guess in many respects it would be a lot cheaper many years ago when there was so many people doing stonework. And I know firsthand, for the limited amount of stonework I can do, that it's hard to do. There's a bus go up there. Sounds really good. Sounds really beautiful. Hopefully I won't be getting any copyright problems, so I'll just keep talking as I keep going so that you can hear any strange noises in the background. And there's a Turkish coffee place. That looks really beautiful. I'm sure that would be amazing. And we're now just along the Princess Street Gardens. I think this is the first time I've walked out in public and filmed people, and you know, you can do it in the UK. It's really funny. You can just, in the UK, you can just rock up with your camera, and you know, you can literally put it on a tripod and just film people as they pass. For personal use, I think for businesses you need to do like a GDPR, etc. For data protection, but yeah, it's really cool here. I like the fact that you can just do, there's a lot more freedom, perhaps than other countries, including European countries. And who's this guy? Adam Black. Is that not like a Marvel movie? Lord Provost and Member of Parliament. Died in 1874. Wow, that's incredible. And there's some buildings up there, including the bank. You can just see under the trees there. And that's on the mound. And I believe the mound is built on, it was kind of like the rubbish heap for the city. And rather than clear it all off many, many years ago, maybe hundreds of years ago, they built on top of it. And buildings like that bank, I don't think the ground is like super strong there, so they just kept building using these big pillars, like these giant pillars that go deep into the ground, a bit like the ones that we're just walking through. And this is my mind has gone blank about the name of the monument. We're about to see what it is, but it's so cool, right? And it is made of Binnie stone, like John Binnie stone. That's cool. So this is the Scott Monument, Sir Walter Scott, from 1771 to 1832. Born in Edinburgh, lawyer and ardent patriot, he won enduring fame as a romantic poet and is author of his Waverley novels. This monument was designed by George Meikle Kemp, and the statue of Scott is by Sir John Steele. Wow, it's just stunning. Absolutely stunning. Okay, Patch. Come on, Patch, let's go. I'll just give you a short, Patch, as we try and negotiate. Thank you. More people traffic around there. I'm also getting hand cramp holding my phone for 20 odd minutes. Another fun fact is that up here, the clock that looks down, it's from the Balmoral Hotel, and it looks down all the way over the street, is that it's set 5 minutes fast, so that you don't arrive late for your train, which is really cool. So yeah, you can see some more monuments. Livingston, that is. There's a wee dog. And of course you can hear bagpipes, because it's Scotland, and that's what we do all day, is we listen to bagpipes. But I do love them. My father-in-law plays bagpipes, and so does my nephew. Just amazing. And hopefully his songs are so old that, yeah, there's no copyright strikes. Come on, pet. No busing here, it says. No busing allowed in this area for COVID safety. And this is just the Waverley station to my left. And we're going to head round the front, and I'll take you down under the really cool bridge that featured in the Fast and Furious 9 movie. I'm not even sure I've seen the whole movie, it was so good. But I tried to see some of the scenes, and I remember they closed a lot of the street because down here they were doing Vin Diesel and a stunt guy were jumping off, or there are two stunt guys were jumping off the edge of this giant bridge, which you'll see. I'm not sure how impressive it looks in the movie, but it must have been terrifying in real person. This is the top of the Waverley Market. I used to come here when I was a kid, and we'd come here for lunch. That was really cool. I always remember coming up to a place called Spud You Like, so that was a lot of fun. And then also being able to come up here now and explore. I don't think you can take dogs in, but yeah, it's a really beautiful place. And this is all the roof on here that people congregate on. Oh, and Bartley's Bank over here got covered in paint. So just here behind these buses is Barclays Bank, and then when I came up this morning, it's been covered in paint, including some of the original stonework, which is sad. So I'm not sure what the protest is about. Of course, there's a million reasons why you could choose to disagree with what a bank does. And then up here on your right is the Balmoral Hotel. It's stunning. I've only ever been in for drinks. But yeah, it's really, really beautiful. That's the Waverley station. That's the train we're going to get shortly. So I'll take it. We'll go down the other entrance, unless I bump into some people from work, from my old work. And yeah, it's just stunning. I'm just showing you this. So I think the bar is actually near number 1. I remember paying back in the day, like 20 plus years ago, a lot of money for just one drink, and I don't really want to know what they cost now. And it's a really, really stunning place. The architecture's stunning. I don't know what the rooms are like. I couldn't vouch for those. And I'm pretty sure this is like the highest concentration of traffic right here. And this is where my where I used to work. So this building here is where Amazon is, and they don't say, they don't put their name on the outside of the building. So including around, when you go around Seattle, where the headquarters are, most of the cities like that. And yet it's fascinating because you just you don't know like what companies and where. This building was the post office for Scotland, the headquarters, and like the main sorting office. So I remember visiting it when I was a kid, and then later came back. And yeah, it's incredible to see because what they did is they rebuilt it from the inside, and it has 5 floors on the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4 plus the basement, and then the inside it had like I think it's 8 floors, so 5 above and 3 below ground. And so if you actually study closely and look at the windows, they don't match on the inside, and so they're actually at different levels, which is so cool to see. So yeah, we're going to walk up past this building, go past the gyms. This is where I used to come to work every day, or should I say more accurately, I would come in through the back entrance. It's funny, there's a real absence of people on the outside. There used to be quite a few more people. Maybe they've been banned from smoking out here. Maybe they're all down at the back. And just opposite there is the quarter mile. It's not called the quarter mile. It's St James Centre, which has a giant poo emoji on the roof, which is really funny to see. And yeah, we actually need to cross over here, so to come back underneath. So I'm just going to try and get through the people traffic. This way, Patch. It's quite quiet. This is Waterloo Place. It's Waterloo Bar. Reminds me of that song Waterloo Sunset. So that's about London. And then down here, I used to come down when I worked here. Come down and get lunch at these different places. Remember, this used to be an Italian restaurant, and I used to take people for interviews here. In fact, 8.5 years ago, that's exactly what it was. I had my lunch. It was called like a lunch buddy, and that was really cool because you got to ask all the questions, the personal questions you didn't always feel comfortable with asking in the interview. And so yeah, that's called St James Quarter. So that was built just a few years ago, and it replaced the St James Centre. Wow, it's like, and it was really cool. It was a beautiful place, but it got very tired and very run down. I remember doing a gig there on the roofs of playing my rock band Fabian, and that was a lot of fun. Now it's got shops and it's like a mall basically, which is lovely. And straight ahead is the Omni Centre, which is another little mall. It's got more parking and a cinema. And we're about to head into more old architecture. It's a really beautiful place for I'd go there for noodles at lunch. That'd be fantastic. And the cafe where people go for snacks. Let's head down here. This is really funny. This is the Blackpool, and it has these red eyes. Look at them. That they're not on at night. They turn them on. I'm sure I've played music here before as well. Come on, Petch. And then we're heading down. It's like we're heading down into the underworld. So if you continue down, you keep going down, you go down under the bridges. It looks. This is just kind of warming you up to what it's like down there, and it's really cool. I used to play a lot of gigs down there. There's bars and restaurants. Now I must admit, stone keeps energy, and oh yeah, this is this huge. Hopefully it's picking up on camera, but this is a huge bridge. So this is where Vin Diesel and the stunt guy, or 2 stunt guys, jumped off. I think it was on the other side that they did it. I remember them closing off the road. Also, Train Spotting, the movie, was filmed here. I think this is the place that it's the start when Begbie's being chased. Not Begbie, no, they call him Rent Boy, right? Hugh McGregor. So yeah, it's really stunning. At night it's lit up as well, and that's really beautiful to see. And then this is the back of the office that I worked at. And let me just show you the bridge from the other side, because it's really cool. Look at that. I can't imagine how difficult it was to build or how expensive it was, but I'm sure it was a lot. How are we doing for time? 36 minutes. We're just coming up to the station. So this is the back of the station. So I'd come in, it was quite cool, I'd just get the train in and I could come into this entrance here. And the good thing is it was really fast. The bad thing is that there was very little exposure to other people, so you just wouldn't see that much of the city. You're just kind of thinking about work, go straight into work, and not really engage with the outside world. The Weed Bridge I walked across for many years, and I remember in the 80s when I was growing up here, the station had a lot of problems with its structure, because I don't know how old. I think this is a Victorian. Well, a lot of our railway network is Victorian, but as you can see here, there's a huge structure of glass, and they must have come in at some point. I don't know when this was, maybe coming up on something like 20 years ago, but they rebuilt the entire roof structure, and it's stunning. So it's all the original pillars, and then the roof structure has changed. Now, I don't actually know what train I'm getting. I haven't looked up, I've been too busy talking to you, so I need to check to see. We have a wee explore around and see when the next train is. London, so I might be able to get a London train down. I'm going to have to check. Not all of them stop. There's a wee piano, sometimes I play that before I went to work or after, waiting on the train. Yeah, if we just head straight round, I'll be able to take you to the main area where we can go through the cool tunnel. Cut through here. So there's a train at 10 past going to London, so that might be enough for us to do. So this little tunnel here, it opened fairly recently, and I've seen people do music videos in it. It's just really cool. Look at this. It's so smart. It's like something out of a spaceship, and I can see they've done all this on purpose. Not sure if you meant to allow dogs in, but we'll be going straight back out the other side. Kind of feels like this one forever. It's so cool. Maybe I'll keep this footage for a music video. That'd be a lot of fun. I can just slow it down. And the good thing about slowing down video is that it stabilizes it. And this is really stunning. You can see the architecture. They used to have a piano right in the middle, and when I played the piano, you can just put your phone on it and just allow it to capture the ceiling as you played, which is really cool. Okay, so we're going to Dunbar. It's just the main area where you pick your platform. London King's Cross, Berwick-upon-Tweed. So the first one goes to Newcastle, that's no use. The next one goes the wrong direction. This is annoying. So I'm probably just going to have to look it up. I don't know when the next train is. So yeah, I think this is where I'm going to leave you. I'll need to look up my train home. It'll be soon enough. And I probably haven't paid close attention. I've been filming. But yeah, I just hope you enjoyed the whistle and stop tour, or what was it, 39 minutes. of Edinburgh, and yeah, looking forward to sharing more of the country with you. And thank you so much for coming along. Take care. Send